Hey, so I'm super excited to share the second video with you on our silver package. I hope the first one helped you to change the trajectory of your thinking. And just want to say I'm peacock proud, I'm hippopotamus happy to be here with you today as you're watching this from your phone or your computer. And I'm ready, so let's get right into it. So we're talking about mastery and how to develop a mastery mentality. Or developing mastery in whatever you do. And so the first thing I really want to get into and say is that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, right? Malcolm Gladwell said that you will master something when you have done it for at least 10,000 hours, right? But the key that you need to get here is that mastery is not an overnight event. And it's not something that you need to feel super overwhelmed about. You know, it may be intimidating when you look at your purpose and you look at what you're called to do. You may look at all that you have to do and be overwhelmed. But the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. That the journey to 10,000 hours of mastery starts with 1 hour, 1 day, 1 minute, 1 week, 1 month, right? It all starts with one step, one decision. The rapper Drake, you know, he has this song. It says, started from the bottom, now we're here. And in the song, he shares about the process of what it took to get to the top. But the real question is, what is mastery? What does it look like? And my perspective is simple. Mastery, or the pursuit of mastery, coincides with a quote I heard some time ago. It goes like this: whatever you do, strive to do it so well that no man living and no man dead or woman and no man yet to be born could do it any better. I'm going to read that one more time. Whatever you do, strive to do it so well that no man living and no man dead and no man yet to be born could do it any better. And I believe that if you're trying to strive to be the best at what you do, or strive to master your craft, you have to know this. Mastery will not come from degrees of knowledge, but degrees of faith. In other words, you will not begin to master your gift until you begin to transcend levels and more levels of faith, until you get to degrees and levels and levels and levels of faith. This is when you begin the process of mastery. So as a result, let's go deeper. What then does it look like to go to different levels of faith? It looks like failing forward. You will never begin to get good at something over an extended period of time without first learning how to fail. Without failure and without struggle, there is no progress. Your level of success will only come as a result of you going on a spree of trial and error. And you can't worry about what other people think. Why? Because your future is more important than their feelings. Your future is more important than their feelings. And you don't want to give other people control over how you act and what you do. So the byproduct of you growing in your faith or growing to this level of mastery, the byproduct is success. But it all starts with the foundation of faith and belief, coupled with trial and error. Belief is the foundation. This is where it starts. If you don't get the foundation, you will not be able to build the $1 million vision. It just blows my mind how people have $1 million goals, $1 million dreams, $1 million ideas, $1 million visions with 2-cent foundations, toothpick foundations, that when you put something on it, it falls to pieces. And the only foundation that is going to last, the only foundation that is going to help you to develop this mentality and develop this mastery is the two things I've mentioned: belief, trial and error or failing forward. The two main things that are going to help you. So here's the principle. And I just mentioned it, but I want to give it to you in a different way. Belief plus trial and error equals mastery. Belief plus trial and error equals mastery. So how do we apply this? This week, I want you to step out on faith and take a risk, whether it be for your business, your relationships, your finances, or in your family. I want you to take some kind of risk that's going to allow you to begin to fail forward and to not be afraid of the opinions of others, to not be afraid of how you look, to not be afraid of how you start, to not be afraid of the process, but looking to the promise. Because there is a process, but if you become so focused on the process that you forget the promise, you won't walk in purpose. If you become so focused on the process that you forget the promise, you won't walk in purpose. So I want to encourage you, begin to think about these things. Begin to think about how you can develop this mastery mentality over time, because it's not just going to happen. It's a process over time. There's no such thing as an overnight celebrity. So think about these things. I want to encourage you this week, take a risk. All right, I'll see you in our next session.